You guys ready?
Yeah, do it.
There we go.
Garrett, we've already seen you in videos. People like us three have seen you over and over again because we watched these videos 4,000 times. But can you just give us like the quick little spiel about you? And this can be 10 seconds or 30, where you're located, what you ordered as far as your pre-order configuration.
Sure. So my name is Garrett Marrero. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Maui Brewing Company. We're located across all of Hawaii, really, but our primary, or my office is in Kihei, South Maui. I ordered a R1T with the standard battery and launch edition white with the ocean coast interior. And some of the options, not a ton. Truth be told, I was so impressed with the truck that I actually now have a second one on order.
Yes.
Which is, yeah, and that's the long range battery, camp kitchen, tent, spare tire, basically fully loaded in yellow with the black interior. And that one's going to be for my actual residency is Wyoming. So
Okay.
I'll have the one in each place.
Very cool.
So, and I currently drive a 2012 Ford F-150 SVT Raptor.
Dude.
Okay. No, I was curious about
I
that.
got a question now. Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys take it away.
Well, no. So in one of the videos, they actually had you saying.
I know what that would feel like in my truck.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't be as fun.
So that was one of my big questions: is what was your truck, and how do you think the Rivian handled things differently than a Raptor, which is not a typical truck?
Sure. Well, I think, a lot of the off-road capabilities were the same. Honestly, I think on the drift portion where we were on the dirt, I think that would have been a lot different because you don't have the same traction control where each wheel is getting, its own each wheel is working off its own information in some ways. So I think controlling in the slide certainly would have been different because I know, like, I've broken the back end free in my Raptor, and you can just kind of keep spinning where it will spin you around. Where the Rivian, no matter how hard I tried, that back end was not going to come sideways. It was not going to go ahead and spin around me. That was impressive. And then I think the big one would have been when I got to the bottom of the hill, that steep incline. It was I think a 100% grade, so 45-degree angle. I was coming down it, and I got to the bottom, and I just kind of held there. And before I got to the flat part, so it was maybe 10 feet from the bottom, and I just wanted to feel like how the angle was, and the seatbelt is like holding me back, and I just felt that was so cool. And then Max looks at me, and he's like, "Well, it can go up backwards," and I was like, "No way." And sure enough, I just put it in reverse, and it just went right back up, no problem. And I know I would have spun in the Raptor for sure. And nothing against the Raptor. I love that truck. I just think that for me personally, my belief system is green and sustainable, and I think we should be moving in that direction. So I feel like the Rivian is the next generation Raptor future. Like, believe me, a Raptor and electric was always my dream, and I think Rivian has nailed that.
Awesome.
Man,
Yeah.
that is awesome. And that leads me to another question that I wanted to ask you about, just because I think a lot of our viewers would be interested in this. But I read something online about your business and how over 90% of your energy is from solar and battery backup. I mean, could you talk a minute about that? I think that's really cool.
Yeah, sure. Since the beginning, we started in 2005 as a small craft brewery here in Hawaii, just with the simple goal of making authentic Hawaiian craft beer. And, very quickly we realized how much it costs to actually produce here in Hawaii. So, doing more with less was always an initiative to try and save money. And so we started investing in solar at a very early period in our history. when we built our new building, our goal was always to run, where I'm at now, was always to run it with as little energy as possible from the grid. So we completed our large solar project, which included almost 1.2 megawatts of solar panels, a bunch of solar thermal, solar chillers, and then we also have our battery backup, which is almost 3.5 megawatt hours of Tesla power packs. And then those are even supported by two, so I say dual 300 kW biodiesel generators. So even if the grid goes down, we're able to completely run on the generators, and we've got about 14 days of fuel on hand at any given moment. So a nuclear winter, we'd have 2 weeks before we have to say goodbye to the world. But we don't really have that situation.
So Garrett, I love
crazy.
beer, but that is prioritizing beer at a whole nother level, my man.
Yeah, you ain't kidding.
Skylar, thanks for that question because I wrote it down too. We get to check that off. I'm going to steer us back towards the R1T a little bit in that you said you've always dreamed of an electric Raptor, and that's what you get. We've also learned before this, but it's been emboldened by the motor trend that it's also a sports car. Can you speak a little bit into that as well?
Yeah, it's pretty epic to switch between the modes and feel the truck either raise or lower depending on what you want to do. Literally, you look out at a horizon and you just see the truck moving, and it's a pretty cool feeling. So when I was going over those big rocks and going to uneven ground, you're up at, I think it was 11.5-inch raise. And I think it was down to like 4 inches or something like that when you're on the sport mode. But I started out in the straightaway, and I was with RJ. It was actually the first customer ride he'd ever done, and I was like, all right, so we're gonna stop and let's just take off and see how fast we can go.
You guys ready?
Yeah, do it. Let's do it. There we go.
And I think he got it just shy of 120 in like no time at all before we got to the end of that straightaway. So of course I was challenged. So I got it to 120 in that same straightaway and just cruising around those bends on the oval track. And it just held, man. You'd hear the tires just, squeak just a little bit. We're cruising around a corner at 100 plus miles an hour. It's like rated for like 70, and we're just like pushing it. I told him I kind of don't want to be the first person to roll a Raptor, but I kind of want to be too. Because either way you win, right? But it really handled the track so well. I think how quiet it is too. We were having conversations, and you really don't hear anything at all. So we're cruising down the track at 100 miles an hour, and it's like you're not moving. So not only like from an airflow standpoint, from the doors, seals, all that stuff, it was really efficient, but handled that track like a dream. And awesome. Again, there I couldn't break that rear end free. So and it's smooth. You feel like when you're in like rally car mode, like you feel the kind of a little mush in the steering. But when you're in the the sport mode, if you will, for the track, it's tight. It's like driving a Porsche GTS, where you just feel like you're just every move, like a minor move, just like it, and the truck moves with you. It really, the programming is impeccable.
All right, folks, thanks so much for watching. Please do subscribe. We obviously have a ton more coming. And then in the meantime, please join us over at rivianstories.com. We have a lot of great conversation happening over here, and we also have some t-shirts. We'll ship them straight from us to you very soon. Thanks.